Hello everybody, welcome to a reaction. This time I remember to put myself on screen. You're welcome. Today we're reacting to Blade versus Buffy. It is a 27-minute long episode, which of course means this will be a 3-hour video. And yeah, we're gonna watch it. I am joined here today by my special co-star, Kamen Rider Abyss from Kamen Rider Decade.
Fuck, I don't know that henshin sound. I don't know how to play into this bit. Okay, I'll cheat. Kamen Rider Abyss.
Okay, I'll tell you what his henshin is. I'll do his henshin, and you tell me what world is he from. Advento.
Oh, that's Ryuki.
Yep, he is. So in Kamen Rider Decade, they couldn't put Ryuga in the world of Ryuki, right? Because one, Ryuga's not from the standard like Ryuki universe. He's from the parallel mirror universe, which is like infinite universes. Because why wouldn't it be? However, because they couldn't have him, they still needed 13 riders. So they took a mirror monster from the original show that didn't have a rider and made a rider for it, and made that Kamen Rider Abyss. It's so cool. Like, Abyss is like a whatever character, but the fact that he exists is the coolest part about the character.
Mm-hmm. That is a neat concept.
Anyway, we can start the episode.
Speaking
now.
of neat concepts, yeah, I was gonna say,
Don't start with a spinning time.
you're a big fan of Vampire Slayer.
I am.
Buffy.
Yeah, I'm a big Buffy fan. Love Buffy.
Oh, that's interesting that for the introduction, they're just using some footage from the fight, it looks like.
Yeah, the fact that Wiz and Boomstick were animated on screen. Nosferatu. That's not his name.
No, it's not. His name is Orlok.
I hope it's not recording my mouse, because it's like just sitting right in the middle of the screen. It doesn't want to disappear. Oh, God, yeah. So, fun fact, I drew Blade for my DBX Corey lineup, and when this was announced, I asked Rena what Blade to do, and she suggested the original design, and I was like, that's awful.
Yeah.
But I did it with the fucking bright red knife. I mean, I imagine Spider-Man, after meeting Morbius, would. Are they going to bring up the fact
Which
that
I Am Legend do you think he's a fan of? Because he's pretty fucking old.
all of them.
Ah.
I want to know, maybe because I just like talked over it, if they were going to address the fact that his origin was retconned. I love Orlog just like, disappearing from the sunlight. It's so funny.
Blade is strong and fast enough to toss around 1,000-pound demons and cut bullets out of the air.
Weird. The way he like timed the wording of that was so funny. He's strong and fast enough to throw a heavy demon.
He can heal small wounds immediately and sniff out the supernatural with his hypersenses.
Big Ben.
Also, his fangs can drain
That's not the name of it.
of magical energies. After studying the ways of Hong Kong kung fu movies, Blade became a master martial artist. Ah, yes, the Rufus from
Yo!
School of Kung Fu. While the only martial art he's been stated to know is
Fucking Rufus mention. Aren't you happy, Don? That's your favorite Street Fighter game.
The fact that that's going on the list of characters verbally mentioned by Death Battle.
But Death the Kid isn't. I don't think Vidal is on that list either. From Simone Kyle.
Odd.
Until Afari was attacked and had his blood drained by Dracula. Seriously, Avengers, Dracula is real. Why aren't you doing anything about this?
Honestly, because he's kind of a bum.
His surrogate dead, Blade would have to wage his war alone, nursing a wound within him that would
Like,
never heal.
realistically, what is Dracula gonna do when Thor shows up?
with a book of boomstick and tried filling that hole with
Hold on.
Go, "Whoa."
What boy thing?
so many, they're his apartment decorations.
Handguns, assault rifles, and explosives make up the rest of his firearms.
Is it a man
He
thing
enjoys getting up
spin-off,
close and
maybe?
That's what I'm curious.
dual acid-etched titanium katanas.
Speaking of
Acid
gloriously honed
edged.
steel, he's got a sword made out of adamantium.
Specifically, secondary adamantium. A variant of the metal that is mass producible.
It may not be quite as strong as Cap's shield, but it can cut right through heavy hitters like Ultron and the Hulk.
Naturally, Blade has even more swords. His Atlantean ones can slice through magical enchantments. The Word Sword can harm intangible demons, and the Justiciar can slay fallen angels.
Yeah, he's got some weird stuff he can pull out of his ass.
Seems
like
about
a
right.
Hellfire shotgun that burns your soul, or hypodermic needles filled with vampire blood. Seems kind of
I'm
good to turn people into
kind of
vampires,
hoping
but it does
that
make them
when
more
Blade
vulnerable
first
to
shows up in the
force
fight,
multiple
he's got like
pales in
20
comparison to
swords
the
on his back, like that one
Blade
bit from the
possesses.
2017 MT movie.
Breathing gun
If you've seen that.
is a living firearm that hisses in the presence of demonic forces. Its sentient bullets
I don't think
chase
I
its
have,
victims
no.
down.
There's a bit where Leo gets like
Cause
kicked into like a
cannot be
glass
healed
container
and
with a
can
bunch of
get lodged into
weapons
your body
by one of the
and
villains,
slowly
and the next shot is a villain going, "What the hell?" And Leo just gets up with like 8 swords, like on his back,
funny.
ready to use them.
Had and fought his one-man war for almost 100 years.
He's battled hordes of vampires while skydiving, infiltrated the Pentagon, and even took on Spider-Man like Miles Morales, who could absorb the energy of a bomb that could destroy Harlem. Blades even bested the spirit of vengeance, Zarathos.
And while he occasionally allied with teams like the Avengers, he prefers to work alone.
I probably would too if they only cared about me when I was helping them and not ridding the world of, you know, vampires.
That, and Blade is
I mean,
scared of what he might do
oh, I was
if
gonna
he
say, why is
controls.
Wiz supporting the idea of
That's how
vampire
one
genocide?
classic
But no,
vampire
genocide
weakness.
does seem, it is completely up Wiz's alley.
Blah.
Even more so after he had a
Not Nick Cage
whom he
Dracula.
avoided for fear of endangering her. If his bloodlust does overwhelm him, he will enter a berserker rage, skyrocketing his strength at the cost
Rah.
of his sanity.
Though it does make him even better at
Who
killing
was the one in that scene
cottage industry at a
saying,
world
"Blade,
trade
you are as
level."
interesting as I'd heard"? Who was saying that? Genuinely.
Summoning a thunderstorm that covered all of Boston with a wave of his hand.
Drac apparently didn't hold a grudge though, since
It
he
did- you don't-
They go
we-
back a little bit.
Blah.
Even
You didn't have to go back. They don't show it. I don't think.
Whom he avoided for fear of endangering her. If his bloodlust does overwhelm him, he will enter a berserker rage, skyrocketing his strength at the cost.
Yeah,
of his
who was
sanity.
saying that? I want to know. who was
Oh,
seeing Blade
okay.
go berserk and just being like, that's interesting.
Dracula's ass.
Dracula is unsurprisingly powerful, capable of summoning a thunderstorm that covered all of Boston with a wave of his hand.
That is
Drac apparently
actually
didn't hold a grudge,
surprisingly
since he
accurate to
eventually
like
made
the book
Blade
in terms of what he can do.
sheriff of vampires, a vampire nation in the ruins of Chernobyl.
Amazingly, Dracula has even given Blade some of his
Chernobyl.
own blood, which allows him to shapeshift into multiple forms, like a wolf, a horde of bats, or a cloud of mist.
I'm really curious
Force his way inside your butt and
if
blow you
they're
up
going
from
to.
the inside out, Ant-Man style.
I feel like
With the Ant-Man. Blade's hatred of
so there's
vampires
this thing with
only
Buffy,
matches
right?
hatred
Her
of
blood like
himself.
empowers vampires when they drink it. I'm really curious if that's going to be brought up. That could be an interesting way to have the fight end, maybe. Because I just get the feeling Blade's going to win.
Even after Blade was possessed by the first vampire ever and tried to take over the planet, Brielle put her dad's teachings to the test, saving both him and the world.
And proving that Blade's lonely war need not be so lonely anymore. With his daughter
Aw.
on his side, and also this
That's nice.
creature pet called Boy Thing.
Ah,
Barbie-
yeah,
Oh,
it
okay,
is.
that-
It
That's
is.
boy thing. I was right.
Sure to meet their end at the tip of his blade.
I mean, I feel like that was the like obvious assumption, but like, why does that exist? what are the?
Ooh,
Someone give me
gambling.
this. Shut up. Someone give me the story of Boy Thing. I certainly care way more about Boy Thing than fucking Bijan Robinson, Captain James Cook over there,
Because Prize Picks makes it easy to play.
Freddie
Makes me think
Freeman.
of,
Is that your real name?
makes me
Is-
think of Gog, if you know Gog.
You can cash in. That's it.
Specify for me.
He's like a little yellow, like, dinosaur thing that Spider-Man encountered once, like, in,
Oh.
like, Grow Giant, and then they decided to keep it as a pet.
I guess I'm just a
I was thinking of like
Well, I'm positive
Okay, I'm being honest. I was thinking of Bat Cow.
I'm picking the same. You followed me on the app and saw my feed tab, didn't you?
It was like back cow, but if he had
And you can
usefulness.
too. Download the Prize Picks app today.
Joshua Allen,
To get
who asked
$50
you?
in lineups.
Your opinion doesn't matter.
$5 lineup.
That's code DEATH to get $50 in lineups after your first $5 lineup.
Will this affiliate link actually work? Is the question.
In every generation,
Ooh.
Okay, here's the part I care about.
she alone will stand
That's the
against
Buffy intro.
vampires, the demons, and the forces
Buffy.
It sucks I'm not going to be able to hear the Buffy theme.
For thousands of years, a new Slayer
Don't
was
call her
granted
Buffy.
incredible powers.
You're thinking of
Was
Luffy.
destined
That's a
to
different
die
guy.
young in battle against evil, passing their powers on to the next Slayer, and the next, and so on. That is,
I'm pretty sure
until the
Buffy can at
newest
least
Slayer
swim
would
better than
change
Luffy.
everything. Buffy and Summers.
Not exactly the first girl you'd think is the
Right, yeah, they composited with the original movie, which is in an awkward position, right? Where
But that would all
it's
change when the
officially non-canon, but its events are referenced occasionally in the show. So a version of the movie happened in the show, but the movie itself didn't.
Whoops. Forcing her and her mom to move to Sunnydale, California to start a new life, far away from any more bloodsuckers and bad makeup.
Unfortunately, small problem, Sunnydale just so happened to be right on top of a hellmouth.
Yep.
The boundary between Earth and Hell is
Ruh-roh.
That's actually why the school's like
Along with
there.
new watcher Giles, Walter,
Giles the
Willow,
goat, Willow the goat,
boy partner,
Angel
bad boy
the goat.
Angel, magical retcon sister Dawn,
Dawn.
Xander. Buffy and her Scooby gang would battle a never-ending series of monsters.
Ooh.
Would you believe they
That's
actually
some funny looking CGI.
that them calling the way he called the group the Scooby Gang? That's not a joke. That's actually what their official title is of the group. They
No,
are
I did
called
know
the
that.
Scooby
I know they're
Gang.
called the Scoobies.
Shut up! You didn't. No, they're not called the Scoobies. They're called the Scooby Gang, idiot.
Buffy carries a variety of anti-vampire
No.
weaponry. There's
Yes.
stakes, of course, sometimes dipped in Gorgon venom that can turn you to stone. Though
That's
she's
not how
also
Gorgons
experienced with
work.
Axes, swords, quarterstaffs, holy water, just about anything.
Well, you don't know. You've never met one.
Gorgon blood or Gorgon venom isn't like that's not a thing, really, to my memory.
She's also a master of
It's
Aikido,
the Gorgon looks at you and you
boxing,
look at it
kickboxing,
into its
wrestling,
like
karate,
eyes and it, like you
kung
turn to
fu,
stone.
Tai Chi, Kendo, Capoeira, and Taekwondo.
I could do all that.
Hong Kong's kung fu movie masters could learn a thing or two.
No kidding. Thanks to her Slayer senses, her reflexes are fine-tuned enough to dodge.
Yeah,
bullets,
that was
Gatling
a
gun fire,
weird one.
Lightning bolts from the sky, and even beams of light. She's kept up with another Slayer, Faith, who can dodge laser beams from point.
Yeah,
blank range.
Faith. I'm sure your story will be really good.
Punch this 4.5-ton bat monster into the air and smash hard enough to tear apart a building.
And despite her lack of armor, she can survive massive explosions, like the one that destroyed Cephrylian's lair that's bigger on the inside.
She can even fight blindfolded.
I think that's what, the
If she
fourth
is
death
injured,
battle
she
sex
heals fast
feat?
enough to be totally fine by the next episode.
Something like that.
Time Angel sucked out almost all of the blood from her body, and she survived.
Because there's also
Uh,
Astro Boy,
hold
Hulk,
on.
and Homelander.
I'm pretty sure she was in a coma.
Makes her weirdly resilient to
She
supersonic attacks.
she survived. Yeah,
Shadow Demon tried to
but,
possess her body,
like,
or when she resisted her soul being
she didn't just like get back up.
time.
Or that time she jumped into a vat of boiling liquid so hot it could reduce people to skeletons, and she was just fine.
She might not show
I mean, her
physical
clothes
scars,
were
but she
barely
sure
melted,
has
so clearly it
emotional
doesn't
ones.
work that
Being a
fast.
Slayer put a huge burden on Buffy's life.
Unable to live normally, she felt isolated, forced to internalize the trauma she faced on a daily basis. Sure, she had friends, but they couldn't understand her unique struggle.
Like when Angel turned evil after he took her virginity and tried to destroy the world. That must be one of those metaphors.
Sometimes the worst enemies are the ones you can't fight, and who don't
Oh.
fight back.
Made even worse by her having
Yeah.
all the memories of the other Slayers bouncing around in her head, dating back to the Stone Age.
Buffy has
The-
dreamt
the
every battle
Buffy's
a
mom,
Slayer
that-
has
that-
ever
that was
fought,
nasty,
and can call upon
man.
those skills in a fight, even subconsciously.
But this includes the memories of their deaths. Countless women violently dying young. A reminder of her inevitable fate.
A fate that came to pass when she fought the Hell God Glory. After leaping into Glory's reality-ending interdimensional hole,
A glory hole, if you will.
I fucking knew you'd
Yeah.
go there.
herself to save the universe, dying a hero's death.
It appears my glory hole joke was poorly timed.
Finally freed of her unfair earthly responsibilities,
I do
Buffy's
love
soul
the
returned to
the
heaven
headstone.
in perfect bliss. Until her friends brought her back to life in the agony of existence. This absolutely crushed Buffy and, ironically, annihilated her will to live.
Oh, that's rough, Buffy. But with the show renewed for more seasons, she had to nut up and continue her endless crusade against all things Spirit Halloween.
Buffy's battled for 48 hours straight, defeated vampires immune to traditional vampiric weaknesses, and destroyed
wanna
the
name him?
Sword of Sano, which
You wanna
caused
name
a
him?
Great Hanshin earthquake.
And of course, both Buffy and her friends
Okay.
have defeated countless immensely powerful demons.
Sad.
Like the Queller Demon, which arrived as a meteor and caused the Tunguska explosion, which destroyed over 2,000 square kilometers of forest. Or the Sorrow
Yeah.
Demon, which caused a storm that blanketed Los Angeles.
She's also a match
A
for
Battle
Angel,
Royale
who
of characters who
survived a
caused the
blast that could
Tunguska
rupture
event
the
would be funny.
continental shelf and took hits from Whistler, whose magic contained a bomb that could vaporize London.
She even faced off against the first evil.
Yep.
Literally the embodiment of all
It was
evil
a-
that
it was
predates
stupid.
reality itself.
Forced into battles against stronger and stronger baddies, Buffy clearly needed something to even the odds. The Slayer safe.
It's actually a Bardiche
Yep.
Yeah,
I knew
whatever.
that
I'm
was
just
gonna come
say
up.
it. This thing is bullshit.
containing the essence of Buffy's Slayer powers and created to defeat ancient demons. The scythe can deflect magical projectiles and slice through just about anything.
Yeah, it looks more like an axe to
Even
me.
Space itself, destabilizing reality in the process.
No one asked you.
Silas, the devourer of worlds. Kinda like Galactus, but instead of chomping on planets, he eats the multiverse. And there goes his head.
The scythe is easily
So
the most
what you could just say
powerful
kind of like
tool in the
Unicron then.
process. In effect, attaining it completed.
Am I wrong about that?
A piece of her she never knew was missing. With the scythe, Buffy was
Yeah, but I mean, Galactus
being
is
the Slayer was
probably
no
more
longer a
well-known.
burden, but a purpose.
Maybe
By sharing her Slayer
in this
powers,
community though,
thousands of girls around the world
everyone knows
will
both
team
because that's
up
like one of the
and
big
kick
matchups.
Earth's evil's ass.
Suddenly, the always isolated Buffy had thousands of shoulders to lean on, a sisterhood of Slayers.
And thousands more reasons for any wannabe demon conqueror to stay away from her.
See, now that is
Unless
just
you
an
wanna get
axe.
your blood all over her stylish yet affordable boots, you'll steer clear of Buffy, the Vampire Slayer.
Was there no usage
As you know,
of
it's Skelletober.
Once More with Feeling
October.
No, stupid, it's
in
the
that, or did I just
Skelletober
miss it?
celebration.
0 out of 10 if there was
Come
none.
on, don't
Shaking
you
my
watch
head.
Death Battle Cast? And for the first time
That was a
What-
pretty good cast, where they just started fucking role-playing Zed and Skeletor. I remember that one.
Skelletober? Yeah, look at that head. Oh, I'm putting those stickers on everything. Wait, is that a pillow? We sell pillows now? Hell yeah, I'll take 7.
You can find all that and more, including our limited desk mats that are selling pretty quick, at www.
Yeah, I wanted to buy one, but then it turns out the fucking promo code didn't work, so I couldn't get any money off. I'm not gonna spend $70 to get a fucking desk mat shipped here.
All right, the combatants are set, and we've run the day for all possibilities.
It's time
That's the moral of the story.
for battle!
When's my boomstick U2 showing up?
Alright, prediction.
Buffy's going to be placed as stronger. They're going to be placed as even speed. Blade's weapons are going to be stronger. They're probably going to give the win to Blade. I don't think they mentioned the fact that Buffy's blood enhances vampires. Oddly. So
They might have been a sidebar. I mean, obviously this is our first watch, so we don't catch everything.
yeah, I imagine Blade is probably going to win by doing the mist thing and going into her and blowing her up. I kind of feel like that's going to be a way it's going to end. Blade has all these things he can do and shit. I imagine that's probably what's going to be. Because Buffy didn't get anything terribly great for her regeneration. To be honest, neither
Now,
did
I have
Blade,
had
but at least he
spoiled.
had some.
I have had spoiled one cameo that shows up in this fight.
Oh no, nervous
You'll
Nick.
see. Here we go.
I feel like people are going to want the, some motherfucker always trying to ice skate uphill, but for some reason my brain was telling me to imagine Jamie Foxx walking in saying people die at the fair and walking away in a random Django cameo. I don't know why my brain conceived that at all.
That is funny, though, conceptually.
I believe
If Django just showed up in this for no reason.
When are we gonna get Django versus Django Fett? Like, seriously.
We were kings long before they had a name.
I really like this music.
But now, starved, hunted, forgotten. You have waited long enough. Tonight, we remember who we were. Tonight, we take back what was always ours.
Okay, but when's Vampire gonna show up?
Tonight, we feast.
Daywalker.
And she is just a start.
Sick.
That's very Blade.
It is.
Fucking kicking the beat while this shit's happening.
I love that
that's
goofy
phase.
smile he just did.
Ooh.
I don't personally know this actor playing Blade, but he's doing a great job of coming across as, like, just effortlessly cool.
Yeah, this is a fiction. He does a lot of, like, katana-based choreography content on his YouTube and, like, I think TikTok channels. I've seen a good few of his videos. He's pretty fun to watch.
I'm wondering, like, how many people have...
Ooh.
Awesome.
Ooh.
I'm wondering how many, like, people watch this and go, oh, why aren't they fighting yet? This is sick.
He
Bro
was
was
just there
ready.
for the vibes, man.
It's like, fuck it, we ball.
Do you know who that is?
Oh, the flesh gun.
Wait!
Believable reason for them to fight.
She was just a kid.
Not anymore.
That was very smart moves, Buffy. Is this gonna be a really boring reaction video? Because I'm just, like, kind of engrossed right now.
No, yeah, this is sick.
You out your damn mind?
What a weird, like, set, like, how this place looks. It's very visually.
Yeah,
pleasing.
but it's very Blade. It's very specifically the Blade movies.
Yeah. This feels exactly like the sort of thing that the audience for, like, this era of, like, vampire bullshit like urban vampire stories would think is the coolest thing ever.
Uh-huh.
Huck a loogie in his eye, to be honest. Do the Don move.
Amateur hour. There's always some motherfucker trying to ice skate uphill.
There it is. And Buffy's really been on the back foot this whole time. I guess it makes sense.
Ugh.
Ooh. Delicious. That was my favorite gun.
Another sword.
I see you cut through adamantium.
Bring it on.
Well, there's the episode start shot. I like that you can kind of tell how relatively unwieldy that weapon is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's clearly designed more for like warfare than one-on-one combat in this way. I could totally use one though. I could do that. Ooh.
Ooh.
I just live. Nice. Why see me complaining?
It's like you got ahead of yourself.
You fucking would, Buffy.
KO! Blade tenued no longer. I'm surprised. I figured with Blade's many years of comic book history, he'd have the edge.
Believe it or not, Buffy is actually in more
Yeah.
comics than Blade.
I'm not
Really?
shocked.
Man, Blade can't catch a break.
Let's break this down into 4 categories. First up, stats. Buffy's lifted much heavier things and survived more significant explosions.
Like, sure, Blade's strong and all, but he isn't literally fucking buildings apart like Buffy.
Scaling to the monsters they fought, compare Dracula creating a storm that covered Boston to the Sorrow Demon creating a storm that covered Los Angeles. A city over 5 times larger. You might be able to compare Blade to Spider-Man like Miles,
Well,
who absorbed a
no, you didn't say
bomb,
might, you just
but
kind of said so.
significantly weaker than Whistler containing a blast that could wipe out London. They could both dodge light beams, but that doesn't keep Buffy from taking the overall edge in stats.
Blade's used to being the odd man out, though, so his
I feel like that's
versatility is
the
just as
part where
important.
people are going to
Blade's numerous
disagree
powers and massive
with this
arsenal,
episode
he
is
certainly could have
the people who
overwhelmed the
believe that
more
Blade should just
straightforward
blitz.
Machine guns and magic swords are generally gonna beat out crossbows
Uh-huh.
and morning stars. Not to mention, he actually wears armor.
Also, Blade's faster healing
Which I don't think is going to matter if his weapons either can't harm her or are so strong that armor won't matter.
When it comes to skill, Buffy's got plenty of experience fighting armed opponents barehanded.
Both of them were masters of a similar number of martial arts.
And Blade has been kicking vampire ass for a century, way longer than Buffy's even been alive.
While Blade may have more personal experience, Buffy's ability to draw on Slayer battles dating back to the Stone Age, at least 40 times older than Blade, gives her the superior skill. Even then, they both had weapons and abilities so powerful they could end the fight instantly, regardless of all else.
They're trump cards. Fortunately for Buffy, she actually countered almost all of what Blade could throw at her.
Withstanding Blade draining her energy with his bite? Check.
Resisting the Hellfire shotgun destroying her soul? Check.
Preventing Blade turning to mist and exploding her from the inside out? Check.
Meanwhile, Blade had no way to survive, say, Buffy's Gorgon venom turning him to stone.
And even with the deadly and just plain gross breathing gun, Blade did not have anything as potent as the Slayer Sight. It could easily deflect the breathing gun's bullets back at him, or use its space-cutting ability to slice through his unbreakable adamantium sword.
Don't believe us? Even Wolverine's adamantium skeleton was cut in half when a portal closed on top of him. That's the same kind of thing.
And Wolverine's adamantium
Interesting.
skeleton is a much tougher version of the same metal.
Oh,
Wolverine
and
Raiden reasoning coming
Silas,
back. That's
the
interesting.
multiverse devouring god. I think you could take down Blade with a big enough swing.
Giving Buffy
I'm curious
final
about how they said that,
advantage
like,
over
Blade
the Daywalker.
could, like, kill Zarathos with one of his weapons. I really want to know how Buffy counters that.
Is Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Next time on Death Battle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Had it spoiled.
Mm-hmm.
Subscribe
That
and join
said,
us to see more.
I am curious on your thoughts, because if I'm not wrong, I understand you to be a fan of both of these characters.
So, love Dante, one of my favorite characters in all the video games. Clive, I like Clive, right? I do like him. He's one of the better parts of Final Fantasy 16 overall. I think he's a bit, like, middling compared to some other protagonists. Like, I would say he's better than Zest, he's better than Firion, he's better than Onion Knight. I like Cecil more. He's probably better than Bartz, but I probably like Bartz more. He's not as good as Terra. He's not as good as Cloud. I don't want to even bring up how he compares to Squall. I'm not I need to replay 8 to have full thoughts on that. Same with 9. I prefer Tidus, but Clive is probably better. He's definitely better than Varn and Lightning. And, Clive or Noctis. I'd probably give the point to Clive there. So, you know, I do like him. I do like Clive. The characters have borderline nothing in common, unless you really stretch it. But fans don't want to acknowledge Dante and Kratos have anything in common, so I'm sure they won't acknowledge this, right? Obviously. But, like, yeah, they have brother issues, I guess. You could word it that way. They have hype moments in Aura. They,
Next time on Death Battle.
They have hype moments in Aura, yeah.
Okay.
I don't really care for this matchup at all. I am glad to see a non-Final Fantasy VII rep from the franchise, though. I know a lot of people expected Lightning to come first, but fuck Lightning. Clive is way cooler. For a while, people expected Noctis, but, you know, Death Battle didn't want to do that. They didn't want to make money. And clearly they don't want to make money here either, because they're doing Clive, like, way after anyone last talked about him. The thing I'm curious about is Clive is just cosmic at the end of his game. Like, like, in terms of how he's portrayed, he, like, fights in, like, the recesses of space, and, like, you can, like, either, like, fighting in this cosmic realm and shit with Ultima. I don't know how Dante is going to match that without, like, the only thing you could do is use his, like, form from the end of the first Devil May Cry, which he has never done again, or just do that, but with Sin Devil Trigger, which would work. For me personally, like, my Clive matchup that I prefer is Azura, but I knew that wasn't going to happen, because Azura got an episode, and he's not going to come back. I mean, unless they do Azura's Wrath 2, but then they're just going to do Kratos versus Azura 2, that's what they promised. Yeah, so, and for Dante, like, again, like, yeah, my preferred would have been Kratos, but, you know, Kratos, yeah, he already had another episode, I don't think he needed another one, so I'm okay with him not getting it. Instead, they fight each other, and it's like, okay. It is a matchup. I guess it's a little sad to not get another Sprite episode, because it's been so long. It's been fucking since Ghost Rider Spawn, we haven't had a single Sprite episode. And since coming back with the new lineup since like 2024, we've only had one other Sprite episode in Joker Giorno. And that's it. We've gone from like 3D with Omniman Bardock, to Sprite episode, to hand-drawn, to primarily hand-drawn, to this year where we had 3D, Sprite, hand-drawn cross 3D, or just Moro style, and then just nothing went back to Sprites yet. Which hopefully the end of this year will be Ash vs. Yugi in Sprites.
Mm-hmm. So,
and that's why we haven't had it in so long, because they're doing a big one.
The Death Battle Wiki says, and take this with a grain of salt, because I think heard this from a couple of other people, but this could be just like people making assumptions, that this is going to be the Torian episode. I don't know if that's actually any basis, or if I've just like missed where it was said, or...
It's a reasonable assumption, because it does seem like the kind of thing that would only exist if he wanted it, but I've not heard any confirmation.
Now, if it is the Torian episode, does that like change your excitement for it? Because I know, like, one of the big things that's been in the back of my mind ever since Dante Bayonetta, I guess, when it came out, was that if Dante came back, how we would possibly capture Dante the same way that Torian did. Not because I don't think any other animator could do it, but just because, like, I feel like Devil May Cry as a franchise is so up his alley, the way that he animates and the way that he, like, directs fights. Where it's very flippy-dippy, it's very action-heavy, it's a ton of fucking weapons, it's a ton of, like, very exaggerated, like, movements and stuff, but it's all still like human silhouette. Like, I don't know how to describe it. It's just something very Torian about it. And Clive was added to Tekken, so
yeah, I mean,
surely he's got something going on there.
Clive, frankly, like. Oh, okay, hold on. I'm looking at the wiki. As part of the Save the Death Battle Kickstarter, one of the rewards for the 425,000 stretch goals for former animator Torian... former animator. He's still an animator. Former Death Battle animator Torian Croft, who brought back for an episode. Revealed by Devil Artemis in a reply to a community post promoting the release of the previous one to be this matchup. Is that true? Let me check. Okay. Red Hood 91,000 asks, "Hey Devil Artemis, you wouldn't be happening to be animating Dante vs. Clive, are you?" And Devil Artemis responds, "No sir, I believe Torian and my other DB friends are animating that episode."
Okay.
So, yes, this would be the episode.
That does make me very interested in it then. I haven't played Final Fantasy 16. I don't know fucking anything about Clive.
Okay, what you need to know about Clive, his pecs are massive. He always kind of talks like this, and he has a very, like this is his kind of voice. He's the guy from Tekken who claps in that one gif. He has the power of Ifrit and Phoenix in him, as well as every other fucking icon. But those are the main ones. You can beat every single battle in the game by just spamming, like, Garuda and Shiva to destroy the enemy's, like, stagger meter and then annihilate them with, like, Bahamut or Titan or whatever you feel like nuking them with. As I said, he's cosmic, like, blatantly. His final fight is cosmic. That's kind of the Clive Azura appeal, is the fact that for the most part, for most of their game, they don't go above, like, a planetary scale. Like, Azura kind of caps out at, like, the Wizen thing for a while, and Clive caps out at, like, the fucking orbital fight with Bahamut and shit. And then out of nowhere, the final fight is just, now you're fighting God, flying through the universe to fight God. Have fun.
So, in that regard, that same shit happens in just a Bayonetta 1, and Dante was able to fight her pretty believably, so...
Yep. I'm just curious.
I feel
the difference is, right?
Like, at the very least, it's a good... vibe.
The difference is that Bayonetta in Bayonetta 1 is still just Bayonetta running around a giant, like, purple sphere fighting like, God while she's, like, sleeping, basically. And then at the very end, she and Jean team up to perform the 1,000 infinity ton Big Bang Punch. She can't do that on her own. Like, she scales to half of it, so, like, what's half of infinity in fucking infinity? But the clearly Jean's hair was part of the giant infinity punch. The difference is that, in Azura's case, he becomes the size of a planet and tanks galaxies. In Clive's case, he is literally flying through space at, like, beyond the speed of light, fucking just tearing everything apart. While with Bayonetta, she is just normal Bayonetta running around, dodging giant attacks. In practice, if Jubileus was, like, not God, but instead some random alien that lived in the moon, nothing would really change. But you can't say the same for Chakravartin or Ultima in how their fights are portrayed. Still, I think you could make it work by playing into the ending of Devil May Cry 1, where you fight Mundus flying through space. Just, you would do Sin Devil Trigger, I guess. It would be fine. I'm sure Torian will cook. It's going to be a great episode. I'm going to take Devil Artemis at his word here, that it's Torian. I don't imagine he'd lie about that. So, I'm sure it'll be great. I'm sure Torian will have more than a handful of weapons, which is, like, is something I brought up in another chat at one point, was I kind of miss the Ryu versus Strider or Mega Man Astro Boy type fights, where characters with a ton of weapons will just use them all rapid fire. Because I think that's really cool. And I kind of want Dante to do something like that. Just use a lot of his weapons. It'll probably be DMC 5 Dante, so if they play into what they did with Kratos, he might only use weapons from that game. I would rather they not just do that, but I would fucking accept it, I guess.
What I think I'm the most interested to see, I'm interested to learn about Clive, and I'm interested to see Dante right now, because I know the last 2 times they used Devil May Cry, as fucking awesome as those fights were, the scaling left a bit to be desired.
With Dante versus Bayonetta, it's like, I forgive it because they didn't really scale either of them at all beyond speed in silly ways. Virgil, fucking wall level Virgil, where every single feat they gave Sephiroth is like millions of times more powerful at the minimum, and they still use the smallest one to give him a win. Like, he blocked his attack with like 100 tons. Here's him, like,
in that same era, they were just off their game with Final Fantasy too, because it was like, obviously with Tifa being like, oh, well, she only does this with her limit breaks. I'm like, yeah, but that's like saying, oh, well, Ryu's not this powerful because he only does it with a super move. But, or like them saying, oh, well, Sephiroth doesn't actually, he's not there for the supernova, so he doesn't scale to it. It's like, but he does. But he fights people that can endure the supernova.
It's crazy because people love to just lie and make up that supernova is an illusion. It's like, nowhere is this ever stated. I've never seen this claimed anywhere. In fact,
no, it's a real ass supernova. Even if he's not there, Cloud and Co still endure it, and he fights them.
Yeah, using statements, it actually makes it worse, because the big claim, like statement-wise for supernova, is that it destroys dimensional space, which turns it from a supernova to like a galaxy-sized explosion that ruptures the dimension itself into nothing.
Also, in Link versus Cloud 1, they compare Cloud to planet busting with like the black materia. I'm like,
they didn't specify, right? They didn't specify anything, so they just say he beat the planet-busting Sephiroth. Full stop. How did Link win because he can lift a large rock?
Like, sure, Sephiroth used the black materia to, like, summon that meteor that did that. Is that not still a thing he could do?
His plan was not to destroy the world. He didn't want the world to be destroyed.
He wanted to get access to the light stream, right?
Yeah, he just wanted a weapon that would wound the world without destroying it. Obviously, sucking the world into a supernova would be an awful way to accomplish this goal. Because if he just destroyed it, he can't get what he wants. And with the... It's also been kind of retconned that the live stream is like this multiversal thing that like spans across timelines, which would tell us that potentially the supernova wouldn't do anything because it's too powerful. Like the live stream's too powerful, and the black materia is just way stronger than we ever thought it would be. But because the characters in Final Fantasy don't know, or in 7 don't know the extent of the black materia or of the live stream, they just assume planet busting, or because it doesn't matter if it's going to destroy the universe. All that matters is it's going to destroy the planet, potentially. Right? But in the end, Cloud is not weaker than lifting up a big rock.
Yeah. It's all just very weird. And then obviously with DMC, it's like a lot of the stuff that people did throw around for a while, I believe, was found to be like fucking completely fabricated. But there is still like universal and beyond scaling in DMC.
I am probably fine with universal scaling for Devil May Cry. I'm not going to explain anything because no matter what I say, people are going to get up in arms. So I don't want to give anyone that satisfaction. But I'm probably fine with it. But the Pinnacle of Combat stuff was faked, which is ass. Yeah.
Yeah.
If anything, that's
I will
like...
say,
oh, no, yeah.
this is also a crazy run for like important characters to you, because we got Godzilla here, we got Ruby Rose, we got Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and then Dante up next.
Yeah.
That's an insane run.
It is. It is. So far, one of them has won. That said, I do really like Marker as well, so I'm not complaining. I don't dislike Hulk or Blade. But
I guess it stands to be seen with Dante and Clive. Well, that's also, it's like, I feel like even if like this wasn't a matchup I like super liked conceptually to begin with, and if this wasn't a matchup you super liked conceptually to begin with, I feel like we both still got pretty fun experiences out of them. Obviously, we'll go back through and
long ass fight. I like the long ass fight.
At the very least, like skim the information. But yeah, that fight kicked ass. That was so good.
Yeah. I love. You know what I love? I just love the comments that are like, "Why? How did you guys extend this to like 2.5 hours, like reacting to one episode of Death Battle?" It's like, yeah, that's a good fucking question. Maybe. Have you ever considered maybe I'm just undiagnosed and that's the explanation?
Yeah, I mean that'd do
it.
Everyone make the new movie.
Everyone I've met in person assumes that I have autism to a degree. I have to say probably, but I'm not diagnosed.
Maybe you should talk to someone and get officially diagnosed. I say matter-of-factly, it's like that you will be.
Oh, thank you for knowing that I will be.
Yes. Retrospectively, or like retroactively or whatever, that comment that Blade makes in Deadpool and Wolverine of there's only one Blade and there's only ever going to be one Blade, and Deadpool just looks at the camera, is so much funnier knowing that movie's never fucking coming out. Because, like, specifically what I remember them saying is, like, oh, we've gone through so many scripts because, we're thinking about setting it in, like, the Victorian era or whatever. I'm like, what? And they're like, oh, we didn't want it to just be a guy in a trench coat and shades just fighting vampires the whole movie. I'm like, that's what Blade is, though. That's what he does. That's him.
We were going to make a Deadpool movie, but we didn't want it to just be some guy in a red costume killing people and making jokes the whole time. We wanted to do something else, We didn't want to just do fourth wall breaks.
Okay, so in the comics, it seems he's not as resistant to stabbing, but in Blade the series and the Blade anime, I think it is interesting that they're considering stuff like the TV series, the movies, and the anime, considering just how much of Blade in pop culture just does not come from the comics, which I guess could be said for a lot of comic book characters, but for, like, as they pointed out, that Blade's not in as many comics as you would think he would be.
Yeah.
He kind of feels like almost more of a movie character at this point.
It almost feels like an unintentional response to like certain people who are like, why is it composite Godzilla but not composite Hulk? It's like, okay, fine, we'll composite Blade then. Happy? But I bet nobody's gonna notice.
What? How's he doing that?
I don't know what's so weird.
How's he in the wall? Did it say he could phase through stuff?
No, he's shape-shifting. Maybe he is the wall.
Maybe he is. Maybe that's not Blade.
Maybe.
And then we've got let's see. Blades, magical and adamantium swords, knives, sticks, throwing glaives, bladed nunchaku, breathing gun. Yeah, boy, this is the second time boy thing is there out of context because they mention it in his first slate as well.
How? Okay.
Flame
I have a
gauntlets.
this reminds me of a random question. How would you feel Death Battle did Marvel's Sprag the Living Hill versus DC's Danny the Street? Would you watch that?
I know who Danny the Street is.
Sprag is a living
I don't know
hill.
who Sprag
He's
is.
an alien that is a living hill.
How do they fight?
Well, it'd be a hill versus a street, and then Danny turns into a planet, and Sprag dies. I hope.
That'd be really funny.
It's like Ego versus Mogo, but
God,
instead of being
the fucking jaw on this guy, holy shit!
It's impressive. Imagine like Ego versus Mogo, but instead of being cosmic and instead of involving like a bunch of powers, it just takes place like in a field, and it's just like asphalt versus dirt. There's like no powers going back and forth. It's just two like chunks of ground fighting. That's a very not Death Battle coded matchup.
So he said this is a vial of vampire blood. When it enters a person's bloodstream, the vampire enzymes turn him. Something tells me your healing factor won't keep you from vamping out. All it needs one good steak. You ask me, that's game, set, and match, bub. If this is Wolverine, does he not still have an adamantium skeleton?
I just imagine Blade like take this and steak just bounce like just shatters on him, and Logan's like, what the fuck were you thinking?
It's a breathing gun, one of the arch weapons of hell. Absurdly more powerful than that paltry shotgun of yours. I like that it's a fucking Walther as well. That's funny.
This is what Beast Wars Megatron should have turned into.
Ugh, just a flash gun. It's gross. Just tell me where you want the next one. Oh yeah, that's Cosmic Ghost Rider. Yeah. Okay, in the same fight where the breathing gun harmed him, Cosmic Ghost Rider defended attacks from Captain Marvel that could melt through a star.
I might need a sneeze.
While this was an Insomniac version of Miles, Insomniac Spider-Man is on par with mainline Spider-Man and comic book crossovers.
Yep.
Okay.
Seems about right.
Battle Vance for 90 years. Cosmic Ghost Rider with the breathing gun.
I like how Torbo's part with his bare hands is after the Ghost Rider thing, as if that's more impressive.
Like gunfire, dodge Kevin's dance after the latest fought a horde of killer geese with Deadpool.
Oh, if it's
defeated Dracula, Deacon Frost, Zarathos.
Yeah, defeated Zarathos. I want him to elaborate on that. I don't know if I'd buy the fucking Badish blocking a Zarathos level attack.
5 second. Yeah, there's Boy Thing.
Yeah, the Ghost Rider's gone missing. At least I got Boy Thing though. What if they do Man Thing versus Swamp Thing and it starts with Swamp Thing like kicks Boy Thing?
How dare you keep your hands off my son!
We're like assuming it's his son. Yeah.
Damn, Blade's almost a fucking foot taller than her. That's funny.
Are you surprised?
Spike, Angel, Riley, Spike, Satsu. Death count at least 2.
At least 2.
Founder president of the Third Magic Council likes ice capades. James Spader, Christian Slater. Pineapple pizza.
Yeah, just like you.
And then I will say, I think the whole bit where Xander shows up, like, I get the lowercase text. The missile edit's a little corny.
Yeah.
Razor blades?
What? You didn't know that? Don't worry about
Olaf's hammer, Hope's dagger, Hellfire
it. Oh,
launcher.
yeah. A shame she didn't get to use the hammer. It'd be really funny to see her fucking swing a dumbass hammer.
Rocky!
You didn't see that beforehand.
No, I didn't. Well, yeah, no, yeah, I probably did see it. I just didn't fucking register it was Rocky.
Yeah. I'm not going to explain.
That's pretty good out of context.
I'm not giving you context, so enjoy
She
it.
looks like she's just woken up with a blindfold and she hasn't registered that there's just something over her eyes yet. Accelerated healing, heightened senses, yeah. Cloudier's trance. Slayer mode. Resistance to hypnosis, clairvoyance, poison, physical possession, soul manipulation, memory manipulation. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure how impressive that acid feed is when the clothes have only, like, somewhat melted. Like, it's still impressive, obviously, because
Yeah.
the hair's undamaged. But, like...
Buffy can tap into her skills subconsciously. She can react without thinking, sense danger in advance, fight at her full potential, even after her memories were erased.
How would you feel if the blindfold scene
Okay.
was also one where her memories were erased, so she had no idea who she was?
Has like a basic fucking motor functions, but no memory or like understanding of anything. She's
Yeah.
blind.
Oh god, the Dracula.
That's the type of things
Dracula
people. That's the type of things people do to Goku just to try to make a matchup, quote unquote, fair. Matched Oz's micro millisecond reactions. I know Willow becomes like a fucking super wizard by the end of the show.
She has her villain arc,
Just
yeah.
put
And then she gets better.
Straight the suit of wonder, gouged out. The Hell Lord Belphegor's eye withstood lightning, defeated the Master Dracula, first evil Hellmother. Yeah,
No, fuck the first evil. I hate the first
track.
evil. First evil's a punk ass bitch.
What is this? What does this mean?
Can't
Is
you
that just
figure
what
it
this thing's called?
out? Can't you figure it out? Look at it.
Well, it looks like question mark.
Let's just go with that. Just go with that.
Because when I first saw it, I'm like, is this a question? Is this like they zoomed in on this thing and then they gave it a name, the Slayer Scythe or whatever, and I'm like, what?
If you're wondering,
And then I looked at it a little longer. I'm like, this isn't English. This is not the Latin alphabet.
It is. It is just M question mark. If you're wondering.
Okay, why?
Fuck off. Even there,
Counterpart to Excalibur.
I like how the question mark looks so out of place on the side there. It's like from a completely different font.
Cuts through magic, space, ghost, power absorption, reflection, just magical wards against. Scythe conceived. Huh? The Scythe conceived a child with Willow in the novels. How do you think Buffy felt about that?
Congratulations.
Willow, I don't want you to see my weapon anymore.
You're just imagining that she doesn't have the context.
It makes you think of this fan art I saw of fucking Ruby and Maka hanging out and Soul's trying to fucking riz up Crescent Rose in the background.
Yeah.
It's like, alright, buddy. Da-da-ba-da-ba. No, this was a fucking banger cast. I have this helmet.
I don't believe you. Actually, no, I think
I'll
I've seen
send
it.
you a picture.
I think I've probably seen it.
There was a time when I was in a call with the Biff Weed and our good friend
Biffweed 2.
I guess better known as VTuber Lyre VT, and my call was being really shitty, and they couldn't fucking like understand me because I had my camera on and it was making my internet run shitty. So I put the helmet on, and somehow it fixed the reception. I guess by the big fucking Z antenna at the top.
Why would you hang out with VTubers? I don't get it.
I don't know. Why do I hang out with you?
I don't know that either.
You're a VTuber.
Shut up. No, I'm not. Really extended intro, but I like the intro.
Let's see who I can catch going through here, because I think I did catch a cameo or two.
I caught Liam. I caught Benjamin. I think I saw Chad.
That's Sam.
Yeah, that's Samuel.
It's Sam Mitchell. So I believe this woman is supposed to be Akane.
Awful. Terrible. Thumbs down in response to that fucking information.
That is what I've heard, at least.
You know what? Fucking Blade is the fucking hero. My fucking king. I imagine they've probably got like the woman who plays Jocelyn is probably somewhere in here.
Oh
And
yeah, she might
probably
be.
I think it'd be really cool if Torian was in here, but I imagine he probably isn't.
Tonight, we remember who we were. Tonight, we take back what was always ours. Tonight, we feast.
I'd be curious to see if like Billy's in here.
That's just the start.
But I don't think I'm familiar enough with Billy's face to be able to identify him. Like Ringmaster Billy. Yeah,
I think the one time I met him, he was.
I've not met him.
Yeah, the one time I met Billy, he was
Ben.
dressed as Ringmaster. So
I love that smile. That smile's perfect. It's so good.
So I don't think I would recognize Billy either if he wasn't wearing a pink pompadour and sunglasses, because that's the only time I've ever met him.
What if he was dressed as Kamen Rider Forze though? Would you recognize him then?
Well, then I wouldn't even see his face.
I never said like in suit. Could just be dressed as Gentaro. My goat.
I guess.
I'm pretty sure like the last one that she shoots is Liam. Not him.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
him. That's him.
I love that.
Him using the fired out like steak arrow is so fucking cool. And then fucking
The vertical suplex.
slamming her through the table. It's so sick.
Blade fucking like ends death battle.
Ben just letting himself die is so funny.
Ben the DJ.
Oh, it's the living gun hissing. Okay, that's what that noise is.
I love the sound, don't you? Nice, fleshy, gooey sound. This is where like Django should just walk past. Right as
Yeah,
he's doing that.
this kind of katana action is the kind of stuff fiction does usually.
I wasn't. I guess I'm so used to fucking Snipes that I was just expecting his voice. I don't know why.
Yeah.
That's not a slight against his voice, to be clear. It's just I was expecting Snipes for some reason. That's just me being stupid. She doesn't exactly sound like Sarah Michelle Gellar, so like I guess
No.
I shouldn't have.
But these two fucking kill it. They do such a good job.
She's got like the comic book Buffy hairdo, which I appreciate.
Some of those more like bombastic angles on like the faces as they're moving past are fun.
Hmm.
Not the shades.
You out your damn mind?
How many toilets have we seen in Death Battle?
Odd question. I'm sure.
I know Gojo Makima has one.
Gojo Makima has one.
Sam Snake, I'm pretty sure.
I think there's one in Deadpool versus Mask, isn't there?
Yeah, there is one in Deadpool versus Mask. I think they go to a bathroom at least.
Yeah, they go to a bathroom, so you could probably see the toilet from there. A terrible conversation topic.
Hey, Adam, can you please make a tier list of every toilet scene in Death Battle? Cheers. Poor glasses.
Amateur hour. There's always some motherfucker trying to ice skate uphill.
Yeah, shit like that zoom in where she goes in for the elbow is so fucking...
I think this is my favorite live-action episode of Death Battle. Though I don't think the competition is particularly strong. There's like one other good one.
No, that's the thing, is that it's like... Ismahawk did pretty good with Red Hood Winter Soldier, and like, Nightwing Daredevil can be a little boring, but I don't think it's terrible.
It's watchable.
This one blows them both out of the water by so much, it's crazy.
There's definitely some moments in Winter Soldier Red Hood I think is so good that they live up to the best moments of this. But at the end of the day, this one has a death that you can see properly. And I like really appreciate the extended intro.
Uh-huh. No, I've missed longer fights so much.
Yeah.
Like an actual story being told through a death battle, it feels so nice.
That's like the thing that I really wish could have been given to like Hulk vs. Godzilla is just another 2 odd minutes to really tell that story.
Because that really is one of the major things that's missing from that like season 1 to season 3 era.
Do you want to rephrase that to be more clear what you mean? I will say this,
like just
this extended
fights
bit
being
here,
like longer, I guess.
This extended bit here kind of makes it clear like Buffy's gonna win. Like she does, like, because I know like it is just an extended death sequence, but like that long pause for her to charge up. Is this the longest track for a death battle?
It might be.
Because this is probably this has to be among the longer fights. Definitely. And the track's playing the whole way. I'm pretty sure the previous longest was our GOAT, our king, our emperor, Kings of Infinity. Oh, Blade, only 10 comics.
Yeah. They're just that's one for every day of the year. If you read one Blade comic a day, you could get all of them, assuming no more come out.
Yeah, assuming there's never another comic featuring Blade ever.
Believe it or not, Buffy is actually in more comics than Blade.
I would have loved to see this number for Hulkzilla. I'm genuinely curious.
Yeah.
I imagine Hulk probably has been in more comics, but I want to know what the difference is, because it's probably not nearly as big as one would hope.
Well, that's the thing is that a lot of Godzilla's. Well, let me think. He's been in how many? I think when I counted, I read like 24, 25 different comic runs under IDW or something like that. I think they're around or a little over 20 at this point because of how many like smaller series there are and counting, I guess, a
there's
couple
extra
of
series,
one-offs
there's
and like
crossovers. The mangas tend to be referred to as like the Godzilla comic and such.
yeah, there's the kids versions of like some of the stories there. Let me think. There's Heist, Skate or Die, Rage Across Time. There's fucking fucking Godzilla in Hell, of course. There's the Power Rangers crossover. There's the Marvel run. There's the recent Marvel crossover. There's the DC crossover. There's the Dark Horse comics. So yeah, there is a lot of them, but I still don't know if that would match up to the Hulk because I know the Hulk.
I'm very
has been
certain
like,
Hulk would have more, but I'm just curious how Godzilla would stack up.
yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if in overall
Buffy's
media
Tales
Godzilla's got more, but just because Godzilla's been around longer, and he's just as, if not nowadays, more known in like the public conscience than Hulk. At least nowadays, I'm pretty sure.
They mentioned here, and this is pretty interesting, that her feats across her media, there are at least a dozen, or nearly a dozen, that exceed any of his scaling. I think that's pretty interesting because I guess it's not too often that a death battle brings up that, like, not only are they stronger by this feat, but it's very consistent that they're stronger than even the highest stuff the other characters.
Again, I'm really curious how this compares to the Blade defeat, like killing Zarathos thing. Does she have a dozen
specifically
power feats?
her killing the god of evil and dispersing its consciousness across dimensions? Because I'm pretty. Don't they just outright say in Spawn Rider that Zarathos is like fucking like higher dimensional or outer
He's
or
like
some shit like that?
He is at least like an omniversal, like above the whole multiverse sort of figure in that episode. I'm just really curious on that. This one I definitely think people are going to contest because there are like feats that would put like Blade higher, and whether or not he scales to any of them. Yeah. I will say the specific example shown definitely feels more in favor of Buffy. Just because, like, directly saying sunlight is probably a bit more concrete than a potentially hyperbolic statement of at the speed of light, X happened. But, no, I think Cyclops' eye beams are too consistently light speed. AKA Blade, half human, half vampire, vampire killing machine, named for his affinity for slicing up undead dummies. See currently?
Hold on. While his ability to burn anyone who feels fear hurts Silver Surfer, Buffy's supernatural courage would resist this. She has better supernatural courage than the Silver Surfer?
I'm going to say no. I'm going to call bullshit on that, but I'm also going to call bullshit on the idea of Boy Thing jumping in out of nowhere to support Blade.
Well, Blade knows Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and according to Marvel's Midnight Suns, it is his favorite show. Let's be real, he hasn't read the novels.
Let's be real, he hasn't watched the whole show. I don't think Blade would have watched the whole show, to be honest. He seems like the kind of guy who watched a couple episodes and looked at the concept and went, yeah, it's my favorite.
I mean, I don't know. I could buy that Blade sat down and watched it, like, as it was airing or some shit. Like, whenever he got the free time, he would, like, catch up on it. He might own a box set or two.
Also, I'm pretty sure that, like, the important stuff is in the show. And the other stuff would be in the comics.
She also Dracula, who could turn into mist by timing her strikes between his shifting.
I don't know if she
I guess
I don't know if she can do that with Blade, because I don't know if Blade exactly works the same, but probably.
Atlantean swords. Cool.
Why do you keep calling it the Scythe, guy? Like, come on.
The breathing gun's homing bullets have been stopped before, like by Madcap. The gun also can't hurt holy beings. Given Buffy's powers are angelic in the novels, the gun may not work against her at all. Okay.
Makes sense.
That is interesting.
Is Cosmic Ghost Rider not holy in any way? I don't know anything about Cosmic Ghost Rider. Beyond, like, the fact that
I know he's
Frank
Frank Castle, and I I think he's a herald of some
he's got
kind.
a funny like Mr. Freeze ass dome on his head.
Helmet, yeah. The breathing gets home. Okay, yeah, no, this is something we just saw. Blah, blah, blah. Special things. Hold on, let me go back to where the fuck is Zarathos? Because I think he was getting him with a sword.
Oh yeah! What a shock!
Is this him?
Vengeance, Zarathos.
And well,
Yeah.
Yeah, that was him.
Destroy Harlem. Blades even bested the spirit of vengeance, Zarathos.
Okay, he's bested
What's
him.
he?
How? Please
Okay,
explain.
yeah.
I want to know. Is that his sword stabbing Zarathos? Because I don't think
Hold
the
on.
fucking.
It's hard to see past the effects of what this says. All that's left in the aftermath is a rocky shell. Yeah, what is this? How'd he do that?
Please explain.
Was maybe Zarathos was like heavily weakened at the time?
Let me just look up Blade versus Zarathos
I guess.
to see if I can get context on this. Blade defeats Zarathos by turning him into stone. He remains that way until the Ghost Rider Hammerlane miniseries. So, like, is that just another way? Is that just like another way Spawn could have won?
That's funny.
You could just pull a blade and fucking turn him to stone. But this doesn't tell me much beyond the fact that they need to fucking explain things better sometimes.
Uh-huh.
It is Blade who takes Foundry's sword, killing her with it so he can use her blood-stained sword to defeat Zarathos. Who the fuck is Foundry?
The only thing I can think of is Tail Foundry, but that's a media analysis YouTube channel. That's not.
I mean, I think of the word foundry, like a factory.
You would.
Yeah, I've gone outside, unlike some people in this chat. Look at Foundry Marvel. I get Foundry avatars and Foundry blood on the wiki. Okay. Foundry once a member of the Blood, an ancient group formed to fight Zarathos. Zarathos killed her son and promised to return him to life if she would leave the Blood and follow him. She agreed, blaming the Blood for her son's death. However, Zarathos never brought her son back. She eventually left the form. There she made a sword, Justicar, capable of killing the Blood and the Fallen. However, to reach its full potential, tempered in the blood of the Blood, at the Foundry's insistence, Blade used the sword to kill Foundry herself. Now empowered, Blade used Justicar to kill Atrocity. Some guys I don't fucking know. She appeared in one comic. So, Justicar is the sword, right? That's used here to turn Zarathos to stone. Now I will say I'm not sure if Buffy can resist something that can turn Zarathos to stone. Just because, you know, that's a lot. No, okay, the sword is stabbed into Zarathos, so it was able to pierce Zarathos. I don't think Buffy has a dozen feats that would get above that scaling. This is, of course, said, like, without reading the comic.
Apparently, yeah.
There could be more that I don't know.
Yeah, apparently... I mean, you mentioned, but yeah, if this thing only shows up in one issue and is given to him, like, temporarily to fight Zarathos, then, like, I guess there's probably other stuff they do give these two that they only had, like, one off or were given to them temporarily by someone.
Well, except for all of Buffy's power-ups. I don't know if it was used in one comic. I know that, the character who made the sword is only in one comic. Yeah, apparently it can just kill Zarathos, potentially. It can harm him. So, I don't think it really matters, because either way, the sword would be strong enough. Like, the sword is just strong enough to kill Buffy, period.
It says that this sword only appears in Midnight Suns Unlimited Volume 1, Issue 4.
Yeah, okay, so... Giving Blade that, but then not, like, giving Buffy any of her, like, one-off power-ups. I mean, I guess it makes sense because they're, like, the power-ups are gained from other people, but then I guess so's the sword, and he doesn't keep it. It was given to him.
Right.
Whatever. I don't think it really matters. I just think... I don't know if I would say Buffy's higher ends are even close to Blade's in this regard. But... you know, it is something. Blade does have something, but it just seems to be one sword that's stronger than that, and you can dodge a sword.
Yeah, I remember seeing one person saying that they're like, this is why I really wish Death Battle would like publish their research after the episode is out, so that we can like look through and see what all was considered, what their arguments were, yada yada yada. But at least from my understanding, slash like slightly my experience, I guess, the information and how it's documented is not necessarily the same as like the debate that's had with the information, because like the documentation for what all you find in your research can't convey your reasoning entirely, and neither can an analysis within an episode for characters these storied, because they just have so much to talk about. And like, well, that's the thing, is that it's like there are so many different weapons and powers and stuff at play that I'm sure that there's a dozen other things they had to consider for the debate that just did not get brought up here. I know
the
for Hulkzilla,
majority
there were
of the
definitely a
debate
few
could be
things that
put
were,
there
like, tossed back
if
and
they
forth.
were willing to. I just think they're not willing to have like a fucking 20-minute long conclusion segment is just the thing. They don't want to do that. They don't want to edit that. It's not worth it, because it costs money, you know? You got to pay to... It costs money to, like, get it written, get it edited, and all that. Because, like, that's the thing. They're not an indie versus show with a budget of nothing who can afford to take an extra month off releasing the episode to just get all the details in. They do have to pay editors and shit. And most casuals either will not care for the longer explanation, or will disagree and not pay attention anyway. You know, like with Hulk Godzilla, there was definitely a lot of people that I saw who just didn't give a shit, because they heard, oh, Godzilla can alter causality, and when he's gonna win, then he lost. And then they just didn't pay attention to the conclusion, really, or they didn't understand it. The didn't understand could be
There's
rectified.
particularly a lot of people, too, that were like, oh, well, because you didn't give much time to Godzilla in Hell, I'm just going to assume you didn't do your research on it. And it's like, well, we don't go into it as much in the episode, if at all. But, like, we didn't go into Godzilla in Hell that much because there's really not that much you can glean with
It's
it.
overhyped as hell.
Into, like, yeah, like, what actually happens in the story, you can't derive that much from. You have to rely on the word of people that not only have made multiple different statements contradicting each other about what exactly happens in that comic, but that also just like don't necessarily have word of God, at least on everything that they're talking about.
Well, no, you have to rely on the statements from people who are telling you that they're showing you DMs with one of the writers that says a thing. It's word of guy who claims to be talking to God. That's what it is. I was gonna say that's like word of priest or word of prophet, but like
Yeah, I was gonna make a similar comment. I'm like, I guess a lot of religious texts are in some sense.
Shit. Let's not go there.
Yeah.
It's like word of guy whose uncle works at Nintendo.
Yeah. It's very unsubstantiated by that. And then there was a lot of people that are like, but Marvel Godzilla should have been using because it's a major part of his history and this and that. And I'm like, I can see a case for it. It's definitely canon to Marvel. And they're like, oh, well, it's canon to Godzilla as well because it's officially copyrighted. I'm like, or
well, the issue is that
they outright. What you get from that just doesn't scale them to the highest stuff today.
No, it just says that Godzilla is as strong as Thor used to be back in the day.
Yeah.
It tells you that pin particles will work for certain.
You could interpret higher, but it's like, as far as what he actually did. And then people are like, oh, well, Toho officially said that Heisei is the strongest Godzilla. I'm like, okay, they're wrong. They're just incorrect.
The question I have is, like, when did they say this?
It's some statement in like a guidebook or some shit like that, as I
like, that's
recall,
the
or like
thing,
on an
like,
official website or something.
I do think
But
that
it's
Heisei is arguably the most powerful movie Godzilla. Like main Godzilla, he's the most
Arguably,
powerful.
yeah.
Just like I would accept that, if only because like the 4D gas argument for Showa is just kind of nonsense, while the 4D supergravity argument for Heisei with Space Godzilla is at least somewhat grounded in science to some degree. So I'd say if you were
Yeah.
gonna go to the like extremes, it's more reasonable for Heisei, and from there on,
But it's
Heisei
to the
is
same
much
extent
stronger.
that it's like, even if an official source did say without a shadow of a doubt that Heisei is just the strongest and upscales all these other ones, it's like, that's like telling me to my face, oh, well, Goku's strongest form is Super Saiyan 1. It's like, it's not, though. That's not true.
Well, it is the biggest confirmable multiplier.
I guess. Other than the fact that Super Saiyan 2 and 3 just perform better against the same foes Super Saiyan 1 couldn't perform against, so objectively they'd have to be bigger. But,
I mean, like, confirmed multiplier. Super Saiyan 2 isn't a bigger multiplier because it's only a like two or four times boost on 1. So the multiplier from the previous form is not as big.
2 is a 2 times boost to 1, and 3 is a 2 times. There's a 4 times boost to 2.
Yeah. I mean, I think God is
But
by far the biggest boost because it's a bigger boost than Fusion somehow. Which is ridiculous. Yeah. Ridiculous. And I don't think they thought that through.
It throws all of the scaling in super completely out of whack, but that's such a fucking different conversation for another day.
Yeah. And Ultra Instinct is probably a bigger multiplier, just again, who knows to what degree.
Unless you believe what fucking Weiss was trying to say of, actually, you reached your peaks a while ago and everyone's just been movement diffing you, and actually if you just learn how to efficiently apply your power, then you could have beaten Jiren basically at the state you're at. I'm like, what do you mean if you learn to efficiently that man tanked a Final Flash on purpose and it did not do anything. He looked at a spirit bomb so firmly that it went back and almost killed Goku.
Yeah, like,
what are we talking about?
I'm pretty sure the Final Flash was like one of the most effective attacks on him, and all it did was make him go, huh.
He's like, oh, I budged.
He was like, oh, look at that. Marks on the ground. I must have moved back a little bit. It's pretty cute that you named it.
This motherfucker deflected a spirit bomb with his line of sight, and you're telling me that, oh, it's a skill difference. No, it isn't. Shut up.
I think it's funny that, like, I find Jiren super boring, but at the same time, when he showed up in Heroes, I was genuinely like, oh shit, let's go. Because, like, Heroes is just a show that's nothing but random fights. And I think it was like Cumber was the guy that Jiren was going up against. And it was just that like moment of, here's Cumber, the strongest guy ever. Nothing can beat him. Ignore Golden Cooler over there. He is impossible to defeat. And then Jiren shows up. Like, I don't know. That's kind of hype. That was kind of hype.
It makes me think of how Aizen is when he shows up at 1000-Year Blood War. When it's like, because like, up to that point, I hadn't really enjoyed Aizen all that much as a villain, because this guy just kind of fucking talked too much.
No, yeah, I remember.
Like, oh, I was behind everything, blah, blah, blah. And then he shows up at 1000-Year Blood War. It's like, okay, well, now that he's doing shit, and it's like throwing a little chaos into the mix here, and he's like, maybe gonna help us out a little bit. Now he's cool. Also, his design is just way better. Like, Eye Patch Aizen goes so much fucking harder than fucking Otacon hair slick back Aizen.
What was the original topic of this conversation?
Zarathos, I assume, from him being on screen.
Who gives a shit about Zarathos? Fucking punk. Yeah, I like the episode. I probably agree with it. Just because I'm not, like, super versed on, like, Marvel speed arguments. I do think this really just comes down to, like, speed diff. Because, yeah, Buffy can resist a lot of Blades, like trump cards, You know what she can't resist? Being fucking cleaved in half. And like, if
That's true. Well, I mean, from what they said, the speed is relatively even if both of them are light based. Yeah, well, I guess that's what you're saying is that like if you buy higher end speed scaling, then Blade does kind of win. But based on their arguments, at least it seems to mostly be a skill difference.
Oh yeah, but based on their arguments, I can accept it. I think the other difference is the fact that Blade has a ton of trump cards, of which only a few of like the really strong ones would work, while Buffy has one trump card that will just work. At least that's how they frame. That's like kind of how they frame it. So it's a matter of like, at the end of the day, Buffy is more likely to pull out her singular instant win card than Blade is to pull out the ones that will work when he doesn't know which ones will or won't. So he doesn't know which sword will for sure work.
There's also something to be said that it's like stats wise, this probably is one of the lower stomps this batch. I would think.
Yeah, it's like gigatons versus megatons. It's like 1,000 cap, which I know it's big, but like for this year.
For this year, that's not a crazy gap in stats. But with Buffy also being just borderline immune to all of Blade's powers or having counters to them, and then just being like way more skilled and like technically, I guess, more experienced, I think that kind of does make it more clear cut.
Yeah, definitely not the closest this year though. Yeah, speaking from experience.
But I'm relatively excited for the next time, and I enjoyed this episode a lot. I'll definitely give it a rewatch or two in my free time. Probably show it to some of my friends.
I gotta do like a fucking review of it at some point. Probably tomorrow. I'll get started on that. Yeah, I did like it. If that was Akane, then I hope it was just because she died.
That would be funny if that's a recurring bit. Is like whenever there's a crowd of people in a death battle, she's there and she just dies.
Yeah, she gets a starring role as dead.
It'd be like your fucking bit with Yang.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of stopped that at a certain point. It was getting a bit old.
Maybe a little.
At one point, I want to have a bit where like she dies, but in the next shot she's just fine and there's no explanation.
What are you gonna do a not death battle or a not DBX or 1 minute man? What's the in between of a
1 second punch out?
A riot rum? Yeah. Well, not a 1 second punch
That's
out.
my show.
It's got to be longer than that.
Those are my shows, not death
a
battle.
not
1 second
riot.
punch out.
What are you gonna do a not riot rumble on Bologna the Blood Edge versus Uso Tensei?
You didn't even comment on my Corey of that, you dickhead. I even added the 3 little color clones in the back just for you. You didn't say anything.
I guess I didn't notice him. Fucking hold on.
Go back and look.
When was this? Let me scroll up.
Because
You're sending me Sasquatch unprompted.
As I do more Corey groups with 1 minute melee and Death Battle Exhibition, I have to like regularly get more out there with my choices for variants. So I want to see if you can just tell who's in this, like who's what.
Now, is this just one season of? This is
season
what
1.
The first season of 1 minute melee.
So
okay,
you know the.
I was gonna say I see one Kenpachi here.
So who can you identify in this?
All right, hold on. We got Catwoman. I'm gonna assume that's Black Cat on the or not Black Widow on the other side.
Do you know what Black Widow that is?
Fucking no! Is this an Iron Man armor?
Is the War Widow armor?
Gotcha. We've got I think that's Renamon X antibody and
Yep.
Lucario with the chef hat from Cafe Mix. We got
Yep.
First Form Frieza. We got Mewtwo with armor from the first Pokemon movie.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Sonic from Sonic and the Black Knight
What's it
with his
form
iconic
called?
pig parry. Fucking Excalibur Sonic.
Yep.
We've got whatever Flash form this is.
Do you know what that
I
is?
do not know this.
That is the future
No.
Flash, where he has become pure energy.
Gotcha. We've got we've got Captain Falcon in the Zero C. Blue Falcon.
Yeah.
We've got fucking Jin Saotome. We've got is that his robot that he's on top of?
Yep.
Is the thing below him Gambit?
Yes, it is. Do you know what Gambit that is?
Why is he blue?
He's not. He's black. That might be worse, though. That is Horseman of the Apocalypse Gambit, who I believe appears in one panel. Ever.
Oh, okay. We've got Captain Commando. We've got fucking. Hold on. Is this Albert Wesker next to him? Or no, Albert Wesker. No, Albert Wesker and Batman are beside Akuma and Kenpachi. I think that's Shin Akuma as well, or
yes.
just older Akuma.
Yeah, it's Shin Akuma. He
He
doesn't have the full, like, mane of hair.
Is this Batman specifically from the animated series The Batman?
Yes, correct. You did better than my son, who thought that was anime Batman.
Above Wesker and between like Wesker and Jury, is that Barai?
Yes. Do you know what's
Is the
opposite
person-
Barai?
Is that supposed to be Terry Bogard?
Do you know what Terry that is?
No.
That's from the live-action King of Fighters movie. That's what he looks like.
No. This is what you picked? Okay, fucking.
I forgot about female Terry,
okay.
to be clear.
Yeah, or you could have just used his fucking.
I used his
Garo
Garo
design,
design
but-
for DBX. Against
okay.
a Dark Target.
Let's see. We've got Deathstroke, but with his mask off. We've got Zenpool.
Correct?
We've got Juri Han.
Which one?
We've got Kim Kofwan. That's Street Fighter 4 Juri, isn't it?
Yep.
Or they're just Kim in general. We've got Bologna the Blood Edge. We've got Dante. Fitting, I suppose. We've got Zero. What is he? Just Dark Zero?
It's his black armor. A lot of people call him Black Zero, but he's only called that in, I believe, Command Mission.
And then, what is this? Just like an NES Meta Knight, or
This is original Meta Knight. This is his original design. How he looked in his first game.
and then Quint from Mega Man 2 on the Game Boy, and the SAX from Metroid Fusion, and then Dreamy Bowser and the Time Eater ?
Yes. It's a bit hard to tell because the Time Eater normally has like the big fucking arms, but obviously I can't do that. But the crystals in the
when
back.
you get to this part of the recording, if we're still recording, then fucking put this on screen.
I will.
So I'm not just fucking looking at the whole.
I will show this on screen. This will be the debut of 1 Minute Melee Corey before I even finish releasing all the DBXs, because I just keep forgetting to put out like the last 2 seasons of DBX Corys because they're so small. But yeah, I've started that. I will get to season 2, but 1 Minute Melee is a lot longer than DBX. Like just looking at season 2 of 1 Minute Melee. Let me get up. That's Ewan's Dojo. That's the wrong playlist. Season 2 is
Cool.
Oni versus Kenpachi. I can't actually do Oni because I've already done him. Scorpion versus Ghost Rider. Again, 2 ones I've already done. Naruto versus Luffy, 2 ones I've already done. Ryo versus Knuckles, 2 ones I've already done. Ryu versus Jin, 2 ones I've already done. Link versus Sora, 2 ones I've already done. BB Hood versus Peacock, those are new. Bowser Jr. versus versus Mecha Sonic, technically. Already done them. Master Hand versus Polygon Man, that's new. Green Arrow versus Hawkeye, done them. Lil Mac versus Makunochi. Wait, Mac, Ippo, Master Hand, Polygon Man, BB Hood, and Peacock are the only ones in Season 2 1 Minute Melee that I've never drawn before. That's fucking sad. And in Season 3, I've done Ichigo and Sasuke, I've done Heihachi and Geese, I'm not going to do Goku Sonic. I've done Natsu and Ace, I've done Captain America and Guile, I've not done Asuna and Orie, they're new. I've done Bowser and Mecha Sonic, I've done Kirby and Pac-Man, done Trunks and Silver, I've not done Cell or Meruem. I've done Yu, but not Polnareff. And I've done Saitama and Superman. And then Season 4, I've done Oni and Kenpachi. I've done Hulk and Broly. I've done Rock Lee and Sanji. I've done Paul and Ken. I've not done a Joseph, but I have done an Edward. Batman, Iron Man, Shadow Vegeta. I've not done Fei Long. No, I have drawn a Liu Kang, I believe. For Liu Kang versus Ryu. I've not done a Waddle Dee. I have done a Goomba. I have drawn Manhunter, but not Piccolo before. I have drawn Snake, but not. Oh no, I have done. Have I done Chris? Has there been a Chris Redfield DBX?
Chris.
No,
Snake
no. I've done
something.
Chris Redfield because someone paid for a Chris Redfield Corey.
Oh, yeah, that'd do it.
I've not drawn Ibuki or Valentine or Sasori or Alice. I will probably draw their dolls with them. I've done Raiden and Genos. I've not done Painwheel or DiCapri. I have never drawn Bison, but I have drawn the very similar M Bison. I've not done Rugal, and I've done Gon and Deku. And then for I think the last season is season 6 or season 5, the second last. I have drawn Gohan and Superboy. I have drawn Kakashi, not Byakuya. I have done Luigi and Tails, Guts. Not drawn Kirito before. I'm sick of drawing Killua. I've done Hiei. I've done a Shantae and Ophelia. Of course I've done a Mario and a Sonic. Mob and Tatsumaki's gonna look really shit. Kind of like the episode. I've done Shovel Knight and Meta Knight, but this is Dark Meta Knight, so technically it's a different character. I've done Bill and Sans.
It is.
I've done Garb, I've not done Crocodile, who now I have some experience with. I have also done Virgil Sephiroth and Vegeta Thor. And Scott. No, I've not done Scott Pilgrim, I've done Beautiful Joe. I've done Mewtwo
I think
Frieza,
it's
I've done
so
Ghost
funny
Rider.
that if you did a ranking of every fucking 1 minute melee combatant, that there are a few of them in the thumbnails that just are not there.
Let me see.
Like, because there's Fei Long didn't actually appear in his. That's Shang Tsung.
Yeah,
Meta Knight was not there.
Ragnar was not
for
actually
Shovel
there.
Knight.
It was a fan fiction, variant, like a fan series variant of him. It's not actually Ragnar.
Is that real or is this
Yeah.
just a Bologna joke?
No, that is a fan fiction version of Ragnar. Oh, I didn't draw Dan and Hercule.
From what?
I missed Dan and Hercule for season 1. I gotta do that. I gotta add
Okay,
them.
Hold on.
Link was technically Dark Link during that. He was like possessing regular Link.
There was Dark Meta Knight. There was the SAX, not Samus.
Metal Sonic, which is not actually the combatant in that episode.
Yep, that was Mecha Sonic.
That's Bullseye in the Green Arrow Hawkeye thumbnail.
I guess technically.
Definitively Clint Barton was in that episode. Polnareff was like Anubis, I think.
Oh yeah, he was possessed by Anubis. You are correct.
Weirdly enough, yeah, Fei Long is Shang Tsung. Technically, God Rugal is not actually Rugal. It's like a clone. It's like a fake Rugal.
Oh, is it?
Like there's a storyline where like Bison is making these clones and one of them comes out as Rugal. That's not his origin. That's not what he did.
Okay. It's odd.
God, fucking Wolverine versus Black Panther.
Mm-hmm.
Why is Grey versus Sub-Zero Mini Rumble in the 1 Minute Melee playlist?
I don't know. Wasn't there a fucking Saitama one where it's just a bunch of other fucking characters come to fight him?
No, that's Goku versus Sonic, where it's a bunch of random characters.
Goku versus Sonic. Okay, yeah, that's right.
I'm not drawing that one. I don't want to draw Goku again. I already have to draw him again. There's some characters where it's like, I'm just fucking done drawing this guy.
I forgot about the Vegeta versus Thor bonus episode. That one's fucking boring, and nothing fucking happens in that one.
Yeah, nothing the episode.
Let's see. God, I'd have to rewatch some of these. Some of these I just genuinely don't like get the connection. Like I'm not sure I fully comprehend why Byakuya versus Kakashi. I guess there's like no, I guess I get it, because both of their backstories are tied to like regarding the rules leading to someone in their family getting hurt, or like I guess in Kakashi's case Obito, and in Byakuya's case Rukia. I guess that makes sense. I thought about it for a second, then I got it.
Isn't there a different guy that...
Sans and Bill Cipher were kind of just...
Isn't there like a different matchup for Kakashi from Bleach?
Yeah, Urahara. He's kind of a mentor character. His main thing is he used to be a part of... he used to be the head of the science division, but he got disgraced after... I think attacking one of his fellow captains under suspicion that he was doing experiments on people, and now he lives in the human world, and he kind of just like helps Ichigo like meddle around from the background, and then occasionally comes to the forefront to actually help with stuff. He's like stupid fucking intelligent. He's like the second smartest character in the series.
Yeah, so why does Madara in that one rap battle go like, you were outsmarted by him, idiot? I guess it's only fair because
yeah,
like,
that's the thing.
As Aizen claps back with, like, you caught the fade from Mike Guy. It's like, yeah, the one guy that could do that.
No, I mean that is more fair though, because like,
I would say it's probably
not
more fair because Mike Guy is not much of a character in terms of relevance. Sadly.
He's not a Kage. He's not a Kage's assistant. He is just a random fucking Jonin from one of the villages.
All right, I think this is about the point where we should probably finish this.
Yeah.
All right. I hope everyone enjoyed. Have a good one. That was an abrupt ending.